Hey everybody, it's me, Alex. It's been quite a while since I made some kind of video in general, and also the audio might be a little wonky because my camera is getting a little old. Well, phone is getting a little old in terms of recording, so I can't do much about that at the moment because I don't have a working computer. So, yay. So let's see, what are we talking about? Well, if you haven't heard, which I'm sure most of you have, the Nintendo eShop for the 3DS and Wii U is shutting down by March 2023. And the problem with that is that there are a ton of games on there that are not preserved properly anyway. Or they could be through, people might be trying to back them up now, but here's the thing. A lot of these games require, say, the touchscreen on the 3DS or the 3D effect on it, or the Wii U requires the gamepad to be used in such a way where you have to like turn it or, gyro control, stuff like that. It's kind of hard to emulate, not hard to emulate Wii U and 3DS stuff, but it's hard to get that, what's that word I want to use? Authentic experience that you would on the actual consoles. Now, another problem with the shop shutting down and, also not being able to purchase games anymore through your card or debit card by, I think, sometime in March, which is like, whoa. And then August is when they are stopping you from using eShop cards. Great. That's fantastic. So you can't even buy anything for like half a year to a year. So what's the point of even disabling it like that early? I don't know. I guess Nintendo hates money. So this is causing everybody to go into a panic, right? Everyone's like, oh shit, I need to go get my games downloaded. I need to find some games that are on the eShop that are exclusive, that were fun, I always wanted to play. And, we're going to go just download stuff. And then another thing someone brought up that I thought, oh, this is actually a good point. It was, I think it was a Nintendo enthusiast that pointed this out, that there are patches that you can download on the eShop. I think there's about 80 plus of them from the category that I know. Also, sorry about the shadow on my eye here. I just have a bit of a wonky lighting setup right now. So, okay. Anyway, it was just bugging me, so I just wanted to point it out. So, we have patches that you can download for games on the eShop. Okay? That's cool. Now, it sounds cool. But when you put a game in for whatever reason, for example, on your PS4 or Xbox One, even before that, you could just download the patch by just putting the game in and making sure you're connected to the internet. A lot of these games, like Mario Kart 7, you had to go download the app and then install it like that. And then you had to go with the Pokemon games. They all had a patch. And what's the thing about these patches are, they help make the game stabilized, add content in that wasn't ready at launch. Some Pokemon games are like that, like Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, not having everything at like launch, still not there. And say for Pokemon, right? There's some stuff in here that like would break your game, I would say. And just soft locking issues, data corruption issues. And I believe that was more so in X and Y, but this would probably also have some kind of issue. So if you get 3DS years down the line and the eShop is not even accessible at that point, you can't download any patches or access the store. It's like, well, you have an incomplete game here. You have a somewhat maximized experience. You could just go on an emulator. I know. I do support piracy from Nintendo only when it's their older stuff that they aren't making money off of anymore, and that they won't let us have access to in any way. So it's like again, I don't support piracy, but with Nintendo, it just seems like it's like, fuck it, man. They don't care. They're not going to preserve their games. So why should we just remember the games or go on Amazon, eBay for copies of these set games that are like $500, $600. So yeah. Now now with that's actually a good segue or transition I should say, to games that will probably go up in price. I don't have all of them on me, but I can try to name a few off the shelf there. We got Pokemon Y, the Mystery Dungeon games, more than likely. And I think we have a list here. Of course, Pokemon Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, that's going to go up. Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. And then we have Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask right now is on the eShop for only $20. And I got this for $20. Now, when that eShop goes down, this game, I know it's because people love Majora's Mask. I don't love it personally. I'm going to try to get into it with this, or through the NSO with my friend. We're going to try to beat it together. This was only $20. And I'll tell you, it's going to go up. Because this game, Ocarina of Time 3D, when it ran out of, it had a first run print, I guess, in 2011, right? And at some point, like a few years down the line, the print was gone. Like everyone bought it, and people were starting to raise the prices of this game up to like $60-$80 just for a physical copy. And then Nintendo distributed another set of, copies out. I think they were either on Nintendo Selects or they were, I don't remember what they call it, but it was like the special, whatever edition. It's the ugly red border. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So that helped drop the price of the base, 3DS case and game. So this will go up too. This surely will go up. Maybe not by much, these two, but they're going to be pretty sought after. Now, these are games that... this next one is not one that's relatively known, I guess, by a lot of people, because nobody I've ever talked to has ever talked about it. And then you're going to... someone out there is going to say, well, Alex, I've played this game, and I have a bunch of friends that have played it too in the past. Yes, well, good for you. I don't have those friends. So, and I never actually played any of the games in this franchise. So the first game is Tales of the Abyss. I've never played a Tales of game, and I always wanted to get one. There was Tales of Graces F I wanted to get for the Vita. I think that's the one on Vita. And then, the new one that's out right now, Arise or something. I don't remember. So this was only like $45, but yeah, this is like not very talked about. I mean, this came out like 2015, and it's an RPG for the 3DS, a really good one, mind you. And it's hard to describe why this would go up. It's not like it's not a known series, but there will be people that go, oh shit, there's a Tales of game on the 3DS? Fuck yeah, let's go, let's do this. And then they'll go get it. And then the value go up. Now here's one that we are already seeing with the 8th entry, but the 7th entry is also having some, is starting to go up. Now, what's funny about this is that I actually bought this digitally originally, way back when it came out, because I was just too lazy to get the physical copy. I'm not joking, that is why. Excuse me. So, what we got here is Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past. I never remember the subtitles for these games. Now this is about $70, $80 right now. Dragon Quest VIII on the 3DS is about $120, $140-ish. For some reason, it's more expensive than the original PS2 game. I don't know if they added more stuff or what. So yeah, like these kind of RPGs, Dragon Quest, these are going to go up. Because firstly, they're PS1 games originally, and people loved those games back then. And those games are still expensive too. And, well, some of them are. Like Dragon Quest VIII isn't as expensive, but like Dragon Quest VII on PS1, yeah, it's kind of expensive. So people are like, oh shit, it's the same game that I knew. It looks a bit nicer. Well, especially this one right here, 7. And I can take it portably, there's more content, and there's possibly some cut out bullcrap content, how they extend a game artificially. Some, companies take care of that and, get rid of it. So, yeah, these Dragon Quest games, they're going to go up. Now, They're also on the DS, but I don't really have a reason to get DS games yet. So there's that. So with the 3DS, we have a bunch of things like we also have like the badges you can get for your 3DS menu. Those are going to be gone too from that stupid ass crane game that you can play once a day, and just themes are going to be gone unless you find a website to download them and put them into your 3DS. I know you can homebrew, but it's a little harder for some people than others, and some people like me don't have a computer at the moment, so I'm going to wait until Nintendo completely shuts down any support for the system before I do any kind of modding with it, so I don't get bricked. Now let's go on to the Wii U. These are games that I think are going to go up, but one game is just that I got was just kind of funny because I saw it at a retro game store. I was like, huh, I'm never going to see this again. Fuck it. And that first game is Madden 13 for the Wii U. Now, you can probably tell it's a little bit more reflective than usual, but that's because this is still sealed. Yeah. My only sealed game in my collection, actually, is a fucking football game. Okay. That's kind of funny. But this was $60. You can get it online for $40, $50. But give it some time when the eShop... This is not even on the eShop anymore, I don't believe. I tried looking it up. I couldn't find it. So this is the only way to get it. The only way. So... yeah, this is just kind of a joke game that I got, so, Now here's one that's going to have some problems. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. And 3DS. I forgot to print it up. Now, the reason why this is going to be a problem is because of all that DLC. The characters, the Mii costumes, there's other shit in there, too, that I can't remember. But, yeah, there's a lot of, like, just little DLC things in this game they're going to be lost. So it makes you wonder, is it worth getting it all? Or should you just stick to Ultimate? I honestly would just stick to Ultimate. I wouldn't really bother with this. But, I don't know. In terms of, like, preservation, yeah, I would get all the DLC. But, like, I'm trying to do that myself right now. Trying to get all my, games updated. Get all the DLC for the games. If they're free or if they cost something. And just trying to find out which physical games I want to pick up before they get expensive. That's kind of fun to do, not going to lie. Now, the next two that are going to go up, maybe, because Nintendo won't fucking port these games, which I feel like they're going to announce it at summer this year. But we're gonna see about that. So, the first game is Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. And then our second game is Twilight Princess, plus the amiibo for it, but that's already like $100-something. So, oh boy. So, why are these going to go up? Well, they're not going to be on the eShop. Wind Waker is like $20 in the eShop right now. Once it's gone, it's gone. eShop for Twilight Princess is about $50 still, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know why they didn't put that on the greatest or Nintendo Selects. Just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, until these are ported to the Wii or the Switch, these are going to go up in price because they're Zelda games, dude. The DS games are going up. I mean, they're on the Wii U Virtual Console, and I bought them on there for that reason because they're going up in price so much. Oh boy, I need to get a new case here for my Wind Waker copy. Holy shit, it's pretty beat up, but that's beside the point. At least my Twilight Princess case is not beaten up at all. Now this one just went up in price. You probably just saw it right there. This is a fantastic game. One of the best games on the Wii U, and one of the best games of that generation, I'd say. And that's Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now, yeah, I always say now, but this was one of the bigger hits, I'd say, for me on the Wii U, and a lot of the people that bought it, which was only about 200,000 plus people that bought it, which is pretty sad. It deserves way more than that, and it deserves a port, which I don't know what's going on with that. But this was such a very interesting game with, like, this massive open world, kind of like pretty much like Breath of the Wild, but it felt bigger. And you could get like a giant mech, you could run around with it, you could fly with it. At certain points, you have to actually earn it, which is it's fun. It plays like Xenoblade Chronicles in terms of like how that battle system is sort of set up, and you can equip yourself with shit, and talk. And, like, the story is different too, in terms of how you progress. You can't just do main story plot, then next main. You have to do some side stuff in order to unlock more of the main story. So it's kind of its own way of trying to do some world building by forcing you into it. So it's kind of cool. I like it. And what's weird is a few weeks ago, this was only like $30. Now it's $100. What the fuck? And the biggest problem with this is that this has patches that you can get for it. Like, you have to download it from the Wii U eShop patches. That's pretty bad considering the current situation. Now, what do these patches do? They make the game run better and just perform so much better. It's pretty much, I'd say, required for the maximum experience. And here's the other problem. Unless you have like nothing on your Wii U, this will take up your entire storage of your 32 gigabytes. Unless you have an external hard drive, which you have to go get and then download to that. And it's like, do you really want to go get an external hard drive for one game? Yes, but like, I can see how that could be an inconvenience. And when the store shuts down, eShop just is no longer accessible. Those patches are going to make this game hard to play. I'm telling you. So that's kind of the problem with this. Like, so much stuff is going to end up being lost to time. And Nintendo doesn't give a shit. And that's just really sad. Like, it's weird because I grew up with the Wii U from 2012. I was like, what? How old was I? Like 17, 16, 17? Somewhere around 17-ish, maybe. And when the Wii U came out, I'm just like, this is cool. Alright. But I took it all for granted. And the 3DS as well, I was 16 with that one. So, it took the eShop for granted, and it's just, now we're going to be losing a bunch of games. And there's not much we can do about it. Sony tried pulling the same thing, but we said no. And they backed off, probably for a couple years. But Nintendo just does what they do. They don't care. So this is just really sad. I never really, like I knew the day would come, but it's just that now that it's here, you're like, oh, huh, that's weird, It's like that's a big part of our gaming hood, I guess you can call it, not childhood, because our childhood is really from like the early 2000s, late 90s for us. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this kind of stuff. Sorry for no videos for a while, but this was something I kind of wanted to talk about. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm Alex. I'll be seeing you someday. Farewell.